Please, please, tangerine, come on for me. I need tangerine. What is up, my is? Oh wait, is it frozen? I'm in my chair, so I don't know why it's like that. Interesting. Let's go to hand cam. Hey, why is it like that? Am I a ghost? Guys, I think I'm a ghost. Oh no. Oh no. My hands exist, but not my face. What's up, McKing, Squints, and In-Betweens? It's Night Slash here, back at you with another stream. We're opening this box. Say hi to Katara. Wait, there you go. Say hi to Katara. It should hopefully be a little better. Also, this isn't how I wanted it to look. Don't look at my penis. This is so scuffed. I'm trying to swap the cameras in hopes of making the angle. Where's my boy? I'm a ghost. I'm gone. I am the avatar. I went to get the milk. I don't know. Why is it like that? I'm afraid to deactivate it. Please work. Please work. Please work. Please work. Please work. Or work. You're a work. Come on, do it. I know you want to work. You're a hard worker. You're good old fashioned. Put the time in. Yes, please, please, tangerine, come on back to me. Oh, I need tangerine. Hands, please. I can be a hand streamer, you know. Besides this, I'm gonna have to like put makeup on, but I can. There, I'll cover it. There you go, hand streamer. Ignore all the permanent marker that's stuck inside my nails. Shit is breaking. I think that's a typical every stream. First of all, doesn't matter who the streamer is. If something is breaking, then that means they're a professional. Speaking of, what it was working, which is exactly why I tried this for like half an hour. Here, we're gonna deactivate that. Nope, not double act. Deactivate. Maybe if I do the other one, activate. There's my face. Hi, how are you doing? I exist. This is literally a GoPro that's in my lap, so that it can like look down. You can barely see it, but it's a GoPro that's in my lap, so you guys can look down. What you mean? That means you ain't a true streamer, Fair. You gotta break more shit. I'm just saying. Start Alt F4ing. Things need to start freezing. You know, you gotta add more to make it more chaotic. Things need a break. Um, hand cam, please work, please. You worked before I start. I shouldn't have left the screen. I should have just stayed on the screen. You know, I should have just. I just should have. There's nothing wrong with this. We just want to feel it all. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well, drinking food, eating water, taking care of yourself. Um, my shit's fine. I just have scuffed streams. Hey, scuffed is a form of broken. So what if I go to music and chatting? I exist. Hi, how are you? How are me? Me good. You good? Oh, Joe. Me. Also, I think I can't show it because it's in the car right now. The knife that you sent from the TikTok, I have a knife that's almost exactly like that one, actually. It's in my car. It has one of like the window breaker things. So I left it in there like as a just in case. You never know when you need a knife, you know? But Fairy, what's up? Also, hi. I hope you're doing well, drinking food, eating water, taking care of yourself, you know, all the fun stuff. We're gonna go back to hand cam. It didn't work. Fuck. So good to see. I am a fan of NF. I haven't listened to his new stuff at all. Like the new album that just came out. I have not listened to it yet. I've been told it's pretty good though. What if I double? Now there's two of me. Mulberry Street. So good to see you out of our way. We're pushing sideways. Welcome to Mulberry Street. What am I doing? The far way. Stop being Keep your bliss. There's nothing wrong with this. It feels like there's something wrong with this. Sideways. Okay, I think at the end of the day, I might have to just get rid of my face. Because it worked, and that's why I was like, okay, I can do it. Now it's not working. And this is kind of what we need first. We'll do this so it's a little more straight down. We'll do that. Nope, too far down. Scoot in, aim down, look at the thing. Guys, this is not scuffed at all. This is professional. And if you guys think otherwise, you're the problem. There's so much lore in the EP. I believe it. Music is always the best when people put their soul into it. Oh my god, this is gonna be so scuffed, guys. Are you ready? It's gonna be fantastic. Yeah, see if I. Oh my mother trucker, dude. Feel I've been replaced. This is good enough, right? This looks good enough. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I'm the problem. Who said you're the problem? I'm probably gonna have to get rid of. Who said you're the problem? Activate. When did I say you're the problem? I still feel. I don't remember saying you're the problem at all. I think you're putting things in my mouth, and they're not the things I want in my mouth. Ayo. We're dealing with it. Okay, this is what we're doing, guys. We're opening the box, and we'll. I want to see my face. As the narcissist that I am, I want to make sure I look good. What if I make it like really high up? How high up can I make it? We're making it as high as we can. There, it's literally, I told you guys, it's like in my crotch. um, let me. Oh, well, I didn't necessarily point you out. I also, when there's ads, I say if you get ads, it's your fault. um, Stay. Don't move. Everyone freeze. No sudden movements, or it'll break. I still feel alive. Back in the orbit. Okay. You know, I got one more thing. I'm gonna try it one more time, see if it works. And if it doesn't, we're doing it live. Floating in outer space, did I misplace part of my soul? Let's make sure it looks okay on TikTok. It's gonna be a lot harder for people to see it on TikTok, which kind of sucks for them, but there we go. It's a little bit better for people on TikTok, but they won't be able to see my. It is inverted, actually, because otherwise, here, I'll show you why. There's no winning, man. There's no, let me look at this, transform. Otherwise, it's like this. Unless I find a way to do this, here, we're already scuffed enough. Well, let's try to figure it out together, y'all. I believe in us. I believe in our power. Together, anything is possible. We're gonna put it like this, and then we're gonna like, I guess if we flip it this way, see, that's wrong. But if we do it this way, my hand, see, the problem is making it stay there. We're gonna have to make it taller. And then we're gonna need to see, that's the problem we run into otherwise, is now you can see all of my stomach, and that's not what I want. It might be what you want, but you gotta pay for that. And then you can see this too, and that's kind of where I get upset about it, because that's not what I want. I don't want you guys to see the stand. and it like takes up a lot of space, which just makes me more upset about it. Because I'm like, why take up space? Which, like, I guess, like, it's doable. It's not that bad, you know? Like, I've definitely seen worse. But, you know, it's not inverted now. So I guess the term pop packs makes me feel weird. Toby, the camera's not working. And, like, this, I mean, see, like, it's okay. I can do this, and, like, then it's not inverted, which I guess is more important. Because, like, you guys can read the card then. Um, I didn't break your camera. It's just my computer doesn't want to do two cameras at once. Like, the camera's fine. Like, I can do this, and then I can do this. And it's like, oh, it was me. Ah, but it's not, they're not going on at the same time. And me don't understand why. What if I do this? What if I deactivate that? What if I reactivate that? What if I... One second. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. Ah. Ah. Guys, I'm cooking. Give me a second. It did work, yeah, but it also like gave me problems last time, and now I have to remember to keep my hands here. Uh, there's just there's just stuff. We're gonna have to deal with it, guys. Hi. I guess maybe if I do that. Oh, or not. I'm trying to make it like angle more over this way. Like that, maybe. Yeah, I don't know why it worked last time and didn't work. Isn't working this time. I did something to make it work last time. I don't remember what. Buffering. Full range video format. I don't think that's going to change anything. I want it to work. What if I unplug it, put it in a different hole? Ta-da! It's not gonna work. I think it doesn't like me. Mine right now. So unnecessary. But there's comfort in the panic. I did it. I did it. I don't know what I did, but I did it. I did it. It's working. A. Okay, cool. Let's fix it on. Let's fix it on TikTok. I don't know what I did to fix it, but don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Just there we go. Cool. It looks weird on TikTok. Okay. Let me fix it for TikTok. Okay, there we go. Cool. Let's see how effective this works. Now don't touch anything. Exactly. That is the plan. We are touching nothing except the box. Move that out of the way. But yeah, we went to I can actually show you guys now in person. Um, we went to a pre-release for the Magic the Gathering set when it came out, and so we got to make our own decks for like a standard game, 20 health, 1v1s, and we all had an hour to make a deck. And sadly, wins didn't matter. I killed it though. I did a great job. But they did do some giveaways, and one of the giveaways they did was this banner right here. And so I now have a banner for the Avatar Magic the Gathering set. It's pretty lit. It's very long. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I might replace the soundproofing and like put it there, because honestly the soundproofing is useless. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that was fun. Let's roll that up. Why is everything so heavy? I used it as part of the trade to get Grazio's Appa. What do you use as part of the trade? So fun fact, I'm pretty sure the pack you gave me from this had... the pack I gave you had Firelord Ozai. That's wild. Well, I'm glad that you got something good from it. One desk pop and you're done for, exactly, yeah. Stream Room Decor. I used it as part of the trade to get Grazio's Appa. I did the Friday and Saturday pre-releases. Oh, you did? Did you get anything good from them? But yeah, I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. Definitely a big part of my childhood. So I'm very excited to take a look in. We are missing 2 packs because I gave one to both of my roommates. Just cause. But we'll be opening them out. One thing they did notice, which was really cool, is how the foil shines with his like tattoos. It's really cool. You have 3 Firelord Azulas. Let's go. I gave my Firelord Azula away. There's so much blue for me, at least in chat. There is a lot of blue. All 3 of you are blue. It's very funny. But we'll move these over to the side. And we'll just start opening them. Firelord Azula is lit. I got both Azulas. There's 3. I got the one where she's in charge of Ba Sing Se. And I think I got Firelord Azula. I did get Firelord Azula. I got Iroh, White Lotus, as well, which was really cool. Okay, how did I open that but didn't open it? Interesting. So... Earthbending Lesson. Can you guys see these okay? Should I make it a little closer? What's the verdict? I mean, I can bring it up to, like, look at them better. But is this cool? Should I make it lower, more visible? Let me know. But yeah, Earthbending Lesson. For 3 and a green, you can Earthbend 4, which, you know, not amazing, not bad, but a 4/4 land that comes back, not bad. A little closer. It's just a matter of I need to find a better way to do this, if I'm being honest. Because the biggest problem is that definitely that this is in the way. Like, I hate that this exists. If this didn't exist, I feel like I'd have more space and I can make it work better. But because it does exist, I'm forced to deal with it. And then I have less space over here now because of it. And now it looks far away. There's no good answer. Oh, you also did Katara? Me and Toby both did Katara for the pre-release also. Well, you did too, so... Hear me out. What if we just... I'm gonna stick it right here. Let me wrap this around. Is this close enough? Boom. Yeah, That's not gonna work at all. It's a very bad idea. What if I do? You're going to sleep. Good luck on polls. I'll suck your dick for good cards. Interesting. Interesting. Something something. Walls of Bossing say. We'll see what I get. Hands here. So turn this over. I'm just doing this, man. I'm going back to doing this. This was the best idea I had, and I feel like it definitely helps out the most. But then it's upside down, so that's why I didn't do it before, huh? Unless we hold it like this. But then, yeah. What's up, guys? How you doing? Ah! There is no war in Bossing Say. How do I do this, guys? Is that better? How do I do this, guys? How do I do this? What do I do? I don't get it. I don't understand. What am I doing, Rock? I don't get it. How do people do this? Like, I wish I could just hang it from like right here, and then well, like I guess from right here. How do I do that? What can I put that will like not move? I need to pay someone to just hold it right here, but like steadier than I'm holding it. Because goddamn, I'm doing a bad job. Wait, give me just a moment. Give me just a nope. Give me a little bit more than a moment. That's the sentiment was there. The sentiment was there, but it didn't work. See, this entire stream is just me trying to get it to work. See, that's too tall is the problem. So it's like now there's just a big black line. I mean, there's more space. Yep. That's the plan. That was the plan all along, guys. See, like now there's more space, but and I mean, I guess I can like do this to like show off the card. What do we think about? I think this is trash, but I also don't have any other plans. I have no other ideas. So I'm thinking that this might be the best bet at the moment. It's definitely better than this thing, having all these freaking things on the floor. We're doing this. This is what we're doing. So it'll work. It'll work for now. Worst come to worst, we deal with it later. I can do this to show you the cards if they're pretty, and it should focus. 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 Do it. Do it. Oh wait, I also did mess with this a little though, so like there we go. That's much better. Cool. We're doing this. This is what's happening. I have no other ideas of how to do this. But now it doesn't. Oh my gosh. 1 second. I know the next card already. Porcupine. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. We have an Ostrich Horse. When this creature enters, mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from among them into your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. The arts are always pretty nice. We have Earth Rumble Wrestlers. Human Warrior Performers. This creature gets +1/+0 and has trample as long as you control a land creature or a land entered the battlefield under your control this turn. Cool. Sold out. Exile target creature. If it was dealt damage this turn, create a clue token. Cool. Rabaru Troop. Whenever a land you control enters, this creature gains flying until end of turn, and you gain 1 life. It also has plane cycling. Octopus form, okay, an instant lesson for just a blue. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof until ends of turn. You also can untap it. That's cool. A waterbending scroll. That's not that bad. Pretty good card, actually. Um, yeah, we're just going with this. For 6, I can tap it and draw a card. This ability costs 1 less to cast for each island you control. So if I do have 6 islands, hypothetically, I can tap that for free. Add start in 40 seconds. If you get them, it's your fault. Totally meant to do that. War Balloon. Flying. For 1, I can put a fire counter on this vehicle. And as long as this vehicle has 3 or more fire counters on it, it's an artifact creature. Crew 3. So that's really cool, actually. So I could pay 3 and then put 3 fire counters on it, and then it'll always be a fire. That's really cool. Instead of having to crew it, I do like that option. Feel the thunder. True Ancestry, fantastic card. You can return up to 1 target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. It's just Zuko learning about his other grandfather. I'm trying to see where the best place to see them is. Momo, Playful Pet. Flying Vigilance. When Momo leaves the battlefield, choose 1. Create a food token. Or put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Or scry 2. Cool to have a Momo, though. Wartime Protesters. Haste, and whenever another ally you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on that creature, and it gains haste until end of turn. Cool. Origin of Metal Bending. It's a little shiny. Choose 1. Either destroy target artifact or enchantment, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, and it gains indestructible till end of turn. Last one for this one. Just a swamp. Nothing too crazy. And then clue token and an ally token. Cool. None of these really speak to me. Waterbending Scroll's not bad. But we're going to go through all these later. Right now, there's nothing where I'm like, oh my god, I need to put that to the side. But yeah, my weekend just started, so I got 3 days off where I can just vibe, relax, enjoy myself. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And during that time, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I got to figure that out. But hopefully everyone's having a good time, enjoying themselves also. If your weekend is just ending, hopefully your week goes well, you know. Take care of yourself. I can't open these packs for the life of me. There we go. Thunder, thunder. Thunder. There, we'll do that. Fire Sages Sagas. Or Fire Sages. Firebending 1. And then 1 and 2 red, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Okay. Energy Bending, not a bad lesson. Lands you control gain all basic land types until end of turn and draw a card. A Merchant of Many Hats. Return this card from your graveyard to your hand for 3. For 3. I don't know how great that is. Also known as Doc the Ferryman, Zhu the Fishmonger, and Bushi the River Cleaner, depending on what job needed to be done in Zhanghui Village. Waterbending lesson. Draw 3 cards, then discard a card unless you waterbend 2. You tap 2 artifact creatures, which is not bad. So you get 3 cards. Pretending Poxbearers. When this creature dies, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Dai Li Indoctrination. Crazy. Choose 1. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land permanent card from it. That player discards that card. Or Earthbend 2. Let's say you guys should be able to see that from... I'll try to keep it more in the middle for you guys. Especially for the people on TikTok that can't see them. They'll probably want to... Platypus Bear! Defender. When this creature enters, mill 2 cards, and as long as there's a lesson card in your graveyard, this creature can attack as though it didn't have Defender. Ruckus Audience. You can tap it for a green, and then if you have a creature with power of 4 or greater, you can tap it for 2 green. Cunning Maneuver. Target creature gets +3/+1 until end of turn. Create a clue token. Just a regular, like, make your own card. Airship Engine Room is so shiny. Look how cool it is. I can sacrifice it to draw a card for 4. Enters tapped. It's a blue-red. Rough Rhino Cavalry. Firebending 2 and Exhaust 8, which means you can only use it once per game. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. It gains trample until end of turn, which for Exhaust 8 is kind of crazy. Bossing Say. This land enters tapped unless you control a basic land. You can tap it for a green or 2 and a green to Earthbend 2. And then Lowen Lee Twin Tutors. When Lowen Lee enters, search your library for a lesson or noble card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. Noble creatures you control and lesson spells you control have lifelink. Kind of lit. And then the Invasion Submersible. When this vehicle enters, return up to 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. An exhaust cost for Waterbend 3. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on it. That's cool. So before that, it's nothing. You have to waterbed to make it a thing, from what I'm understanding. Okay. Bossing Say is cool. The ability to earthbend from a land is really cool. That honestly, earthbending helps a lot with. There was a all lands deck I wanted to make, so I'll have to see if this adds anything that makes that more viable. I just want all lands, like literally 100 lands in a commander deck. I want to see what comes of it. There's a lot of decks I want to make. There's one I want to make around Ankh, where I want to try to just give people lands and kill them by giving them mana, because I think that's funny. I don't know how effective it would be, and I don't think it'll work the best, but I think it's funny. I found 2 ways that you can add lands, or like you can force people to have lands. I just need more than 2 ways, you know? One of them is very recurable. The other one, if I can keep getting it to enter the battlefield, it would also be recurable. But that's a matter of figuring out how to get it to enter the battlefield. Okay, for TikTok, let me fix this for you guys. Because now you're in the middle, so I can put you in the middle now. Food, I'm just gonna, fine, I'll wait. I'll do it the right way. Sabertooth Mooselion, fantastic. Has reach. It's a 7/7 for 4 and 2 green, and it has force cycling. It was a pretty decent card, especially when we were playing before. Abandon attachments. That's cool. You may discard a card if you do draw 2 cards. I like that. But you couldn't do it. You couldn't learn to let her go. You cannot let the pure cosmic energy flow in from the universe. Fire Nation Cadets. This creature has Firebending 2 as long as there's a lesson card in your graveyard. And for 2, this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So, not bad. Swamp Snare Trap. Poor Appa. Look at how sad Appa is. He's all stuck in there. He can't go anywhere. This spell costs 1 less to cast if it targets a creature with flying. Enchanted creature gets -5/-3 is crazy. That's a really cool card. Water Tribe Captain. For 5, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. When Forecasting Fortune Teller. Just when she enters, you can create a clue token. Nothing too crazy, but also a great throwback to the show. You know, seeing this character. Many believe that clouds tell the future, but they do not shape it. Otter Penguin. Oh my god, it's so cute. Look at how cute that baby boy is. Look at him. Ah. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, this creature gets +1/+2 until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. Ayo. Southern Air Temple. When Southern Air Temple enters, I got a shrine. There's only 5 shrines, so honestly, the fact that I got one of the shrines, kind of lit. 1 second. When Southern Air Temple enters, put X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is the number of shrines you control. Whenever another shrine you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So that's not a bad card at all, but it's just a matter of having the shrines in the deck to get them, you know? And You could technically, well, that is an actual Commander game. But there is a way you could probably copy these in a Commander game. But in the other version, you could play all of them, and then if you play one that's legendary again, it still activates before you put it down. So technically, it counts for both. Like Earth Rumble. Earthbend 2, when you do, up to one target creature you control fights target creature an opponent controls. So, not bad. Definitely a good way to kill something that's in the way. Accumulate Wisdom. So, if you have 3 lessons in your graveyard, so you take the 3 top cards of your library, you pick one, put it into your hand, and put the other 2 at the bottom of your library in any order. What this says, though, is if you have 3 lesson cards in your graveyard, you get all 3 cards into your hand. So, not bad. Tolls of War. When this enchantment enters, create a clue token. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent during your turn, create a 1/1 white allied creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. We can then also... What's next? Hey, Iroh the Tea Master. Let's go. We got an Iroh card. Iroh's lit. When Iroh enters, you create a food token, and then at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have a target opponent gain control of target permanent you control. When you do, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Put a 1/1 counter on that token for each permanent you own that your opponents control. Wait. Iroh. But is it when you play a land? I think it might be when you play a land, not when it enters under your control. I was thinking about the Ankh deck that I was just talking about. But I think for them to take damage from it, they have to play the land, not just gain control of a land. So that technically wouldn't work. But that's still awesome. Like, that's a really cool card. White Lotus Reinforcements. Let's go. Other allies you control get +1/+1. And this has Vigilance. And look at the pretty forest. Look at the pretty forest. And then we have a monk card and a food token. I fall asleep. These are cool. I want these on the side for sure. All the other ones are whatever. I do have some penny sleeves. I don't know if I necessarily care about Iroh enough to do a penny sleeve. It's just hanging by. But I can show you guys really quickly the other cards I got that are cool in here. I didn't put a bunch of them in sleeves. I think I literally only put 3 of them in sleeves. And the 3 I put in sleeves are Firelord Azula. Because super dope. Super cool card. She's firebending too, and then whenever you cast a spell while Firelord Azula is attacking, I can copy that spell and choose new targets for it. I got Azula Cunning Usurper, which is just her when she is controlling Ba Sing Se. Firebending 2, and then when Azula enters, target opponent exiles a non-token creature they control. Then they exile a non-land card from their graveyard. During your turn, you may cast cards exiled with Azula, and you may cast them as though they had flash. Mana of any type can be spent to cast those spells, which is also fantastic. And then Iroh Grand Lotus. Fantastic. It's a great card. Firebending 2, during your turn, each non-lesson instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to the card's mana cost. I can cast cards from my graveyard and then exile them. But during my turn, each lesson card in my graveyard has flashback 1. So, any lesson card, which is a lot of instants and sorceries, I can use like instantaneously just for 1, which is really good if I build that deck right. There are a bunch of other cards in here. My deck that I used is in here technically. It's the only thing that's sleeved in here. It was mostly blue, but there was a little bit of green and a little bit of white. And it worked really well, actually. Watery Grasp is an amazing card, first of all. Especially when you can have more than 1 of them in your deck. I had 3 of these in my deck because I pulled 3 of them. And my god, it turns tides. It turns tides, quite literally. But, who we got next? When I fall asleep. Come on. Open. Open sesame. Or don't. Come on. Am I the problem? Hi, me. I'm the problem, it's me. Yeah, hi, me. I'm the problem, it's me. There we go. Trash. What do we got? I'm going to try to go through the little Kyoshi Battle Fan. There's a lot of these I haven't seen, so I'm going to read the ones that I haven't seen, and then I'm just going to gloss over the ones we've already been through. So, when this equipment enters, create a 1/1 white ally creature token, then attach this equipment to it. Okay. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. Not bad. Nothing too crazy. Fire Nation Raiders. Raid. When this creature enters, if you attack this turn, create a clue token. Okay. Sabertooth Moose Lion, we already were over that. Not a bad card, but it costs a lot. Vindicative Warden, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it has Menace, Firebending 1, and then for 3, this creature can deal 1 damage to each opponent. So if I have enough Firebending to make that useful, that could be pretty nice. Compassionate Healer. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you gain 1 life and scry 1. Okay, okay. Waterbending does not only heal physical wounds, it can also soothe the spirit and calm the mind. There you go. That's a little better for you, TikTok. Another Forecasting Fortune Teller, so make a clue token when it enters. Merchant of Many Hats. Gotcha. Seismic Sense. So look at the top X cards of your top X of your deck, where X is the number of lands you have. I can pick a creature card from among them, reveal it, put it into my hand, put the rest into my library, at the bottom of my library in a random order. Next one, Vengeful Villagers. Whenever this creature attacks, choose target creature an opponent controls, tap it, then you may sacrifice an artifact or creature. If you do, put a stun count. Okay. Okay. I can see how that could be useful. It costs 4, though, which is kind of crazy. Tio is a great card. So whenever one or more flying... He's flying, first of all. Whenever one or more flying creatures you control attack, you can draw a card and then discard a card. And then if you discard a non-land card this way, you put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control. The last Agni Kai. There you go. I'm pretty sure creature fights creature. I'm going to read it, though. Creature fights creature, and then you get red mana equal to the amount of excess damage. Target creature you control fights target creature an opponent controls. If the creature the opponent controls dealt excess damage this way, add that much red mana. Until end of turn, you don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. Cool. Lion Turtle. So when Lion Turtle enters, I can gain 3 life, and it can't attack or block until there are 3 or more lesson cards in my graveyard. But before that, you can't tap it for any color. The Lion Turtle is pretty great. I do like the Lion Turtle. It's a cool card. Very tanky, not super strong. Cat Owl, lit. When Cat Owl attacks, whenever this creature attacks, it can untap target artifact or creature. So you can untap itself. So then it has like a pseudo vigilance if you pick itself. Pseudo vigilance, is that better? The angles are kind of weird. And then another airship engine room, but not shiny. Lion Turtle's cool. I'm gonna start saving the golds just because I'm not getting anything crazy. That being said, I do normally open collector boxes, which I couldn't really do because I can't keep spending $700 every time I want to open a collector box, you know? I would love to, but it's cardboard, and I can't, even spending this much on cardboard, I'm like, oh god. Like, it hurts a little bit. Okay. Abandoned Attachments, we already saw that one. Rough Rhino Cavalry, we already saw that one. Earthbending Lesson, we already saw that one. Rabaru Troop. Okay, this one's looking Cat Owl. This one's looking fantastic. Azula Always Lies, not a bad lesson. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, or put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It does cost 2. Kind of wish it would cost 1. Foggy Swamp Hunters. As long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, this creature has lifelink and menace. Not bad. Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. Ayo, kind of like an upgrade from the other one. Lifelink. And when you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token with this token can't block or be blocked by non-spirit token creatures. Or non-spirit creatures. They don't have to be tokens. Crescent Island Temple. When Crescent Island Temple enters, for each shrine you control, create a 1/1 red monk creature token with prowess. Prowess is whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets a +1/+1 until end of turn. And whenever another shrine you control enters, create a 1/1 red monk creature token with prowess. So that's the second shrine. We have 2 of the 5 shrines right now. It's kind of cool. If we can get all 5 shrines from this, I'd be happy. That'd be pretty lit. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Ooh, June, the bounty hunter. June can't be blocked as long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn. Sacrifice another creature. Create a clue token. Activate only during your turn. So 1 to sacrifice a creature. Okay, okay, interesting. Earth King Lieutenant. Trample, and then when this creature enters, put a 1/1 counter on each other ally creature you control. Whenever another ally you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. So give a 1/1 to all allies. For a green and a white, not bad. Fire Nation Drill. Okay, it's a vehicle. There's a lot of vehicles that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting to break this many vehicles. Trample, and then when the Fire Nation Drill enters, you may tap it. When you do, destroy target permanent with power 4 or less. For 1, permanents your opponents control lose hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. It is a 6/3, so it's not the tankiest, but it is very strong. Shiny Merchant of Many Hats, and a land. Cool. I like these two. Like I said, I'm going to just start saving the golds. Just because I don't think I'm going to be getting as many mythics as I normally do. Something, rarity. Something, spend more money. There's also nothing in this this set that is like, oh my god, I need to hit this. Like, it's amazing. There's a lot of cool characters that I definitely would love to get. But there's nothing that's like, oh my god, a $33,000 Soul Ring. So that's another reason why I didn't do the collectors, because, you know, there's nothing I'm going to find where I'm like, I need this. Just like you always do. Another Moose Lion. Messenger Hawk this killed me. This hit with Tio. Is it Tio? I think it's those together crazy. Because you get the +1/+1 from Tio. You get to draw the card, discard the card, and this says whenever you draw your second card, or you draw 2 or more cards in the turn, it gets +2/+0. So it automatically becomes a 3/2 constantly, like every round. It just happens. The Emptiness Machine. Fire Nation Raider. Swamp Snare, we saw that one already. Razor Rings, I haven't seen this, but you guys haven't. Deal 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. You gain life equal to the excess damage dealt this way. So it's not a huge life gain, but it's a little bit of a life gain, and it can destroy something. So it'll quench ya. Best card ever. It's not that good. But counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. Not super strong, but amazingly funny. I love the art. It's so good. It's such a good meme. Bender's Water Skin is goated. So it's an artifact for 3. But you can tap it for any mana of any color. But every untap step, this artifact untaps. So you technically always have a mana every turn, and so if you can use it consistently instead of using your actual lands, it can really be useful. The Cave of Two Lovers. Create 2 1/1 white ally creature tokens. Search your library for a mountain or cave card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle, and then Earthbend 3. Cave of Two Lovers. Oh, 2 lovers, forbidden from one another. War divides their people. Bitter Work. The art, great art. Honestly, look at that. Whenever you attack a player with 1 or more creatures with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Exhaust 4. You can Earthbend 4 during your turn. Water Tribe Rallier. Waterbend 5, I can look at the top 4 of my cards in my library, and I may reveal a creature card with power 3 or less from among them, and put it into my hand. Put the rest into the bottom of my library in a random order. Azula on the Hunt. Ayo, another Azula. Did I get all 3 Azulas? I think this is the 3rd Azula then. Firebending 2. When Azula attacks, you lose 1 life and create a clue token. Okay, sucks that you hurt yourself a little bit, but you know, that's fine. Hey, speak of the devil, Fire Lord Azula. I think the one that I showed before was shiny, or am I stupid? Because I'm giving it to a friend, so if the other one, I want to give them the shiny one. No, it's not shiny. They're the same. Okay, cool. And then what else is here? Firebending student with an cool art. I don't think that's the normal art. A little shiny prowess, and then Firebending X, where X is the creature's power. Cool. And then a mountain. Really cool mountain, though. Look at that. There we go. We'll do that. And that's also a good card. Forbidden from one another. A war divides their people. I'm excited to make decks with this. I know I showed you before. I'm just going to do it again because we're already doing the Magic stuff. Like I said, I got a bunch of the Sony secret layers. So I'm really excited to do stuff with these secret layers. I'm really excited to do the Last of Us. And I really do want to give Nathan Drake is going to be fun, and God of War is going to be fun. I'm definitely going to make a Joel Abbey deck just because I think it's funny, the idea of them working together. I don't think I'm going to do a dual Ellie deck. The older Ellie... The older Ellie doesn't feel like a good card to me. To be fair, none of them are really that amazing of a card. It's just, flair. More than anything. And I think it'll be funny to have the two people that definitely didn't get along be in a deck together. I might call it Mom and Dad are fighting again. Anyway, what am I doing? Porcupine. Wall Top Sentries is really good. Reach, Death Touch, and when this creature dies, if there's a lesson card in my graveyard, I gain 2 life. So that's not a bad card at all. Fire Nation Cadets. This creature has Firebending too, as long as they're... we already did that one. Avatar Enthusiast won me a game a few times. This is a really good card. Whenever another ally you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. I have... it's like Frontline. It's, I think, like Allied Front or something like that, where you pay 2 white and X. And depending on what X is how many allied creatures you create. So that made this huge, and it really helped me out. Flexible Waterbender. These cards feel a little bent. I don't like it. Waterbend 3, this creature has a base power and toughness of 5/2 until end of turn. So it flops, it flips their ability, and then it has vigilance. Callous Inspector, Menace, and when this creature dies, it'll deal 1 damage to you. Create a clue token. This isn't playing for my light songs. What's playing? We'll go here. Clouds, Kyoshi Warriors. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Unlucky Cabbage Merchant. Let's go. When the creature enters, create a food token. Whenever you sacrifice a food, you may search your library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped. If you search your library this way, put this creature on the bottom of its owner's library, then shuffle. Yeah. Okay, so this goes back in your library. Okay, cool. My cabbages. We got Suki. Star, look. That's why, Luno, if you ever want to play Magic, Tabletop Sim is the best way to do it for free. You can make your own decks on EDHREC and Moxfield. Use EDHREC to get ideas of what to put in your deck. Mox Field to actually create the deck. You can literally just copy pasted it into Tabletop Sim. Yeah. I'll try to make it. I'm trying to make it zoom better. I'm trying to make it zoom better. Can you? Yeah, I just wish you could see it more. I wish I had a better camera. That's probably the problem. I just need to be richer, right? That would fix it. Let me read what Suki does, first of all. I just saw Suki, and I was like, Star would want to see it. Might have to enlist you for help with that sometime. It'd be fun. It'd be great to play. I love playing Magic. Suki's power is equal to the number of creatures you control, and whenever Suki attacks, create a 1/1 typed allied creature token that's tapped and attacking. All the cards in this deck are in this bot one are bent, and I don't like it. All of these are bent. Ember Island production. So near the end, if everyone remembers the play that happened, choose one. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except it's not legendary, and it's a 4/4 hero in addition to its other types. Or create a token that's a copy of target creature an opponent controls, except it's not legendary, and is a 2/2 coward in addition to its other types. That's a really cool card. It costs 5, though. Cruel Administrator. Raid. This creature enters with a +1/+1 counter on it if you attack this turn. And whenever this creature attacks, create a 2/2 red soldier creature token with Firebending 1. Tiger Seal. Vigilance, and at the beginning of your upkeep, tap this creature. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, untap this creature. So it only costs a blue, which is really great. So it has Vigilance, which means you can attack with it and then block with it. But at the beginning of your upkeep, it taps again. So you're kind of forced with it. But if you can draw more than one card, which especially with waterbending, a lot of things let you draw cards in waterbending. Definitely possible. Earth Kingdom Soldier. When this creature enters, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. And then Misty Palm Oasis. Right before they took Appa. Spoilers for a show that's super old. We'll put these away. And then I think Cabinet Merchant's cool also, so I'll put that over there. Am I staying up bed? I don't like that these are a little bent. Open Sesame. I think you're really cool, like Rhino Cavalry, Wall-Top Sentries, Vindictive Warden. We've been through this song and dance. Fire Nation Cadets, Canyon Crawler, new one. Death Touch, and then when this creature enters, create a food token. It also has Swamp Cycling. So cycling of any kind is just you can pay that kind, and then you can search your library for that kind of like land. So like regular cycling is like draw a card, I'm pretty sure. But for any like swamp, forest, mountain, you pay the price and then you discard the card and you can look for that kind of land. Avatar Enthusiast, we already went over that one. Watery Grasp, fire card. I'm so happy with this card. I love it. Of course, it's a little not as powered in Commander. We can only use it once. But Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's... creature just stays tapped forever. And then you can pay 5 and you shuffle that creature into their library. It's very strong. Boomy, King of the Three Trials. When Boomy enters, I can choose up to X, where X is the number of lesson cards in the graveyard. So if I have 3... we'll choose up to X. So if I have like 6 ones, I could do 3... I can pick them more than once. So Boomy can honestly be really strong, depending on what you do. So I can put 3 +1/+1 counters on Boomy. Target player scries 3 or Earthbend 3. So say I have 6 lessons in the graveyard, I could technically add 18 +1/+1 counters onto Boomy. Technically. Because it says nothing about doing it more than once. I'm out of my mind. Team Avatar. When a creature you control attacks alone, it gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. That's not bad. For 2 and a white, I can discard this card, and it deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to a target creature. That's not bad. We'll move them up a little bit. What else we got? Heartless Act. Aww, speaking of stealing Appa. Hey, buddy. I hope Appa's just into bondage. Anyway. Choose one. Destroy target creature with no counters on it. Remove up to 3 counters from target creature. Katara. Not a bad card. Whenever Katara is tapped on my end step, you get a +1/+1 card. +1/+1 counter. And then for 6, you can draw a card. For 6 waterbending, which means tap 6 creatures. You can use Katara to tap, kind of guaranteeing the +1/+1. But also 6 to draw a card is a lot. Hey! Hey, Star. Sugi. Suki. Suki. There you go. Other creatures you control get +1/+0, and whenever another permanent you control leaves the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. We got both good Sukis. There's another Suki that isn't as good. There's like 3 of every main character. So we have 2 of the Sukis now. And those are both the Sukis that I thought Star would want. Hey, let's go, Ty Lee. This isn't the Ty Lee I wanted, but I don't know what this Ty Lee does, so it could be good. Prowess. So whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And then whenever Ty Lee attacks, I can pay 1, and if I do, target creature can't block this turn. That's cool. That's cool. And a really cool swamp with Momo in the pipes. Let's go. We'll put that over there. 'Cause I'm a good mess sometimes. Could always be not what you needed. 'Cause I'm a mess sometimes. I like Ty Lee. Ty Lee's super cute. She definitely borders the line of like knowing what she's doing and being super oblivious. Cool. What's next? Hua. Wandering Musicians. Whenever this creature attacks, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Secret don't. Even if you're lost, you can't lose love because it's in your heart. Deserter's Disciple. This is the guy that helped the Avatar at the shrine, I believe. Tap, another target creature you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Cool. Origin of Metal Bending, we already went over that. Zhang Zhang's Deserters. Whenever this creature enters, put +1/+1 counter on target creature. Not fantastic. Rowdy Snowballers is also a great card. I know a lot of the waterbending cards, or like the Water Tribe cards, just because that's the deck I played already. But whenever this creature enters, I can tap a creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. So, I mean, a stun counter is always fantastic. Hog Monkey. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control with +1/+1 counter on it gains Menace until end of turn. Exhaust 5, only can use once, but 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. Zuko's Exile. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment its controller creates a clue token. Ozai's Cruelty. Ozai's Cruelty deals 2 damage to target player. That player discards 2 cards. That's a rough card, actually. That hurts. Shared Roots, Rampant Growth. Search for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped. And then shuffle. Hama the Bloodbender. I actually haven't seen this card yet. When Hama enters, target opponent mills 3 cards. Exile up to 1 non-creature, non-land card from that player's graveyard. For as long as you control Hama, you may cast the exiled card during your turn by waterbending X rather than paying its mana cost, where X is the mana value. Okay, it's like a one-trick. You can only do it once, which doesn't make it the best card, but the ability to do it in the first place isn't that bad. And it's also a 3/3. It's a 3/3 for 5. So, like, the ability is kind of what makes it better. Hey, Mai, let's go. We got Mai. This is a cool Mai art, too. I wish I could make it better. There you go. That's a really cool Mai art. First strike, whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, they lose 2 life. And because I did fix it, I'm actually going to go back and show you all the good arts that were here. Those 2, that one. We'll do Firelord Azula again. Because this way you can see the faces a little better. There's Firelord Azula. Looks amazing. Look at how good that card is. That card art is fantastic. Here's Suki. Definitely looks better right now. Such good job with the art. Here's Ty Lee. I love the light that just like kind of emanates from behind her from the sun. Really good, really good. And then the other Suki. Cool. But that's a really cool Mai. I really like the art. What else we got? Another firebending student. Rocky Rebuke is not a bad card. Target creature you control deals combat damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. And then Island, really pretty Island. And then a dragon. Why do I have a dragon? I don't think any of these made a dragon. Yeah, none of these made a dragon, so I don't know why. Sometimes it just gives you tokens to give you tokens, to be honest. Something must be wrong with me. There we go. Everyone watching, I hope you're having a good night. Drinking food, eating water, taking care of yourself. We're about halfway through the packs, I think. No, we're not. We have a lot of packs. There's so many packs. I forgot how many packs are in this thing, bro. But we've gotten through a lot of them, so it should be a little bit easier to find other cards. There's a lot of cards in the set, to be honest. So I'm not really sure. Deserter's Discipline, we already went through it. We're going to try to run through them a little faster. Foggy Swamp Vinebender. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Waterbend 5, I can put a 1/1 counter on this creature. But the Waterbend 5 for 1/1 is kind of crazy. Activate only during your turn. Which makes sense. Wandering Musicians. Merchant of Many Hats. Airbending Lesson. Airbend target non-land permanent. Draw a card. So airbending, I can exile something, then pay 2 to bring it back. Watery Grasp, fantastic. Foggy Swamp Hunters. Professor Zay, Anthropologist. I can tap him to discard a card and then draw a card, which honestly, really good just for like a free tap. I'm fine with that. The fact that you have to discard first does kind of suck because you might get something bad. And then I can tap and sacrifice him to return a target instant or sorcery card from my graveyard to my hand. So that's cool. That's cool. Longfane Grand Secretariat. Yep. Whenever another creature you control or land you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Ruinous Waterbending. Okay, so back to Hama, Bloodbending. Showing water is everywhere. As an additional cost to cast the spell, I may Waterbend 4. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. If this additional cost was paid, whenever a creature dies this turn, you gain 1 life. So all creatures. That includes my own creatures. So that could be good, could be bad. Enter the Avatar state. Until end of turn, target creature you control becomes an Avatar in addition to its other types and gains Flying, First Strike, Lifelink, and Hexproof. For 1 white, that's amazing. That's a really cool card. Obsessive Pursuit. We got Zuko going a little crazy right there, guys. Whenever this enchantment enters, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and create a clue token. Okay. Whenever you attack, put X +1/+1 counters on target attacking creature, where X is the number of permanents you sacrifice this turn. If X is 3 or greater, the creature gains lifelink as well. Okay, that's really cool. Different Uncle Iroh. Firebending 1 and lesson spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And then another cool mountain. We're getting a lot of the full art mountains, which I'm really enjoying. I didn't think we'd be getting as many of those. That's a cool card. That's a cool card. This Iroh kind of sucks, I'm not going to lie. That Avatar state is really good, though. I want it. In my dreams. But tonight, it's only you and me. Boom. Open them up. Keep her going. Keep her going. Lightning Strike. 3 damage to any target. Metal Bending. Messenger Hawk. Remember, that's if you draw a second card, extra damage. Flexible Waterbender. Dialy Indoctrination. We talked about that one too. Path to Redemption. We didn't talk about this one yet. Enchant Creature. Enchanted creature can't attack or block. Sacrifice this aura, exile enchanted creature, and create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Activate only during your turn. Octopus Form. We saw that. Benevolent River Spirit. So it does only cost 2 blue. That's a very pretty art, so I'll make sure you guys can see it. It does only cost 2 blue, but it has an additional waterbending cost of 5. So you have to pay 7, technically, to get this out. But it's flying and ward 2, and whenever it enters, you scry 2. It's not a bad card. It's not amazing. It's not something I'd be like, oh my god, I need it. Leaves from the vine. Sad. Mill 3 cards, then create a food token. Put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. And then draw a card if there's a creature or lesson card in your graveyard. Come marching home. Wait, let me hide out. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a lesson or shrine spell. Or 1 in a tap. I can add 1 mana of any color or colorless. A Toph Hard-Headed Teacher. We got a Toph card. When Toph enters, you may discard a card. If you do, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever you cast a spell, Earthbend 1. If that spell is a lesson, put an additional 1/1 counter on that land. Good card. The other Azula. Azula Cunning Usurper. Which we talked about earlier, but I'll read it because I don't think I read it. Firebending 2, and yeah, when it enters, exile a non-token creature they control. If they exile a non-land card from their graveyard, during your turn you may cast exiled cards with mana of any color, which is really cool. How to start a riot. Target creature gains menace until end of turn. Creatures target player controls get +2/+0 until end of turn. And Pretty Forest. We'll put both of these in here. Because that Toph card ain't that bad. That Toph card is actually one of the reasons I lost my games. I was about to win all of my games, and then that Toph came in with the lesson True Ancestry card, and they could just keep bringing them back and forth over and over. Mango! This is... Wait, let me show you. I can show you a pretty picture of Toph. This is Magic the Gathering. They recently released a Avatar: The Last Airbender MTG like set. So we have a bunch of cool cards. We have Toph right here, Azula, just everyone from Avatar you can think of is in this set. And I didn't buy the fancy one, but I did buy a box. So we're just going through, opening it, having some fun. We still have a bunch of cards left. Just seeing if I get anything cool, and kind of just enjoying the beauty of this set. There's a lot of really. I'll see. Who's your favorite character in Avatar: The Last Airbender, Mango? Let me see. Also, I hope you're having a great night. I hope you're enjoying yourself, drinking food, eating water. Always a pleasure to have you hop in. But yeah, who's your favorite character? Toph is great. Zuko and Toph. Okay, you like Zuko. This isn't necessarily a Zuko card, but he is in there. See, they do have a lot more like anime-esque art in some of the cards, and then they really bring in the actual art for some of them. I don't think I got a Zuko card. I do have an Azula card, which looks fantastic. But I actually don't think I've gotten... I do have Uncle Iroh. I do have Iroh. Let me find Iroh. Here's Iroh the Tea Master. Zuko's in the background. Yeah, there's a lot of packs. But yeah, they made a bunch of like cool extra abilities to work with it. Firebending, waterbending, earthbending, and airbending are now in Magic the Gathering. They all have like unique set effects. I do also have this Iroh, which I would say is cooler. It's him when he's in the Grand Lotus. Zuko's internal battle is extremely well written, and there's actually cards that like depict that internal battle. This set is very like intentional with what the cards do based on like what happened in the story of Avatar. And that's something they did the same thing with Spider-Man, where they had a Spider-Man set that came out. And the one thing I love Spider-Man, but the one thing I hate that they did is they just like pasted cards onto like pasted pictures of Spider-Man onto cards. Where this one, everything has so much detail as to why it's there. They did a fantastic job. But see, because you're here, Mango, we're about to pull a Zuko card. I can feel it. Is right here. It might be. Messenger Hawk. Okay, we got that one. We got that one already. Boomy Bash. We haven't done this one yet. Choose one. Boomy Bash deals damage equal to the number of lands you control to a target. Destroy target land, creature, or non-basic land. We're going to find one. I believe in it. Pillar Launch. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains reach until end of turn. Untap it. That's a really cool art, actually. Oh my god, I love that. This all opening this does is makes me want to rewatch Avatar, if I'm being completely honest. There was an amazing... I need to find the name of it, but there was an amazing Avatar: The Last Airbender game on Wii, and it made me so happy when I played it. It honestly is probably trash now. King Boomy is great. I do have a Boomy card in there. I don't know if I showed it. Boomy, where are you? Here he is. Looking all crazy. God, the arts are so good. They did such a good job. There are some cards that come directly from Earth Kingdom Soldier. We already saw that one. There are some cards that are like direct pictures of the show. They are disgusting. I'm not gonna. They're really bad. They're all 480p. They like. I get what they were trying to do. They have like one like screenshot from every single episode that they tried to put on a card. They didn't do the best with it. Lost Days. The owner of target creature or enchantment puts it into their library, second from the top on the bottom. Or on the bottom. Okay. You create a clue token. A little picture of Momo. Pirate Peddlers, Death Touch, and then whenever you sacrifice another permanent, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Curious Farm Animals. When this creature dies, you gain 3 life. And for 2, I can sacrifice this creature and destroy a target artifact or enchantment. Okay, so I gain life for enchantment removal. Honest work. There is Zuko in here. Not a Zuko card. Enchant creature an opponent controls. When this aura enters, tap enchanted creature and remove all counters from it. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a citizen with a base power and toughness 1/1 with a tap, add a colorless named Humble Merchant. Okay, okay. Price of Freedom. Destroy target artifact or land an opponent controls. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. And then draw a card. There's so many good arts. Like all the, and I love that all of them are just like stories from the invasion reinforcements. We already saw that one. Allies at last. Affinity for allies. So for every ally I have, this can cost one less to cast. Up to 2 target creatures you control each deal damage equal to their power to a target creature an opponent controls. Take me home, I wanna place it. Agna Qual. I'm saying that wrong, but I think it's the northern air, the north no, the northern water tribe, right? I think this is the northern water tribe. This land enters tapped unless you control a basic land. Add a blue, or for 2 and a blue, I can draw a card, then discard a card. Honestly, not that bad of a land. It's a pretty good land. Oh, dang. For a second, I thought it was Zuko, but it's just Jet. Bleh. When Jet enters, he deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to a target creature an opponent controls. That's not bad. When Jet dies, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. That enter the battlefield effect is actually really good, but he costs 5, so it'd be hard to make it worth it. And then Foggy Bottom Swamp. Cool, cool, cool. I do want to keep that land over there because that's a really good land. Everything else in this deck kind of eh. Bah, 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 bah. Pick them up. There we go. Here we go. Another deck. Let's see what we get. I think this one's going to be fantastic. I believe in it. If I can open it. I'm not weak, guys. These decks are just really strong. Or these packs are just really strong. They have the power of the Avatar in them. Boomy Bash, we already saw that one. Origin of Metal Bending, already saw that. Wandering Musicians, already saw that. Deadly Precision, that's new, and it has Mai on there. As an additional cost to cast this card, pay 4, or sacrifice an artifact or creature. Destroy target creature. Oh, the Apple card, yeah. And it's the Wandering Musicians, so you can see all the cute little guys on them. If there are any cards you see and you're like, I want to see that one better, just let me know. The arts are beautiful. If I'm being honest, I feel like that's one of the main reasons to like look at this is just how good the arts are. John John's Deserters, we already saw that one. Not the best card. Zuko's Exile also involves Zuko, but it's just him being kicked out by his dad. Sparring Dummy. Melon Lord. Oh, I am Melon, says at the bottom. I am Melon Lord. So Melon Lord, Sparring Dummy, is a defender. I can tap to mill a card. You put a land card milled this way into your hand, and you gain life if a lesson card is milled this way. Okay, cool. Not a bad card. Hey, there you go. This is the first Zuko. So each main character has 3 cards. So this is Zuko's first card from book 1, and then he has another card from book 2 and book 3. So Firebending 3, and for 3 I can exile the top card of my library, and I may play that card this turn. Okay, not awful. A Wolfbat. Flying. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you may pay a black. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. If it would die, exile it instead. Okay, that's cool. A way to get around counters, or like undying. White Lotus Reinforcements. Already saw that card. Hey, we got their dad. We got Hakoda. Hakoda, Selfless Commander. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast ally spells from the top of your library. And I can sacrifice Hakoda, and creatures I control get +0/+5 and gain indestructible until end of turn. Let's go Hakoda. That's a pretty good card. Flexible Waterbenders. We already saw that. And then a really pretty mountain. Hakoda, you're definitely going over there. We'll put these over here. I want the other Zuko cards. They are a lot better than that Zuko card. Especially Fire Lord Zuko. Crazy. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen a 20-year-old show. Honestly, if you haven't seen the show, why are you looking at this? There we go. What do we got? Foggy Swamp Vinebender. There is a Dancing Dragons card actually. Let me pull that out. Lion Turtle, Tio, Jet. I already had Jet. I don't remember getting Jet. Sunblast, Crashing Lake, The Last Agni Kai, Uncle Iroh, Zhao, Screw Zhao, Foggy Swamp Vendor, Angus Journey, Deserted Disciple, Wandering Musicians. There's a dragon. That's almost the right one. Zhao, Rabaru, Mountain. I didn't realize, honestly, I didn't pay attention a lot to the cards that I got during the pre-release because they didn't help me with my deck that I was making. Firebending, Leston, Porcupine. There we go. Oh, we also have a full art that I'll show off too because it's right next to it. Here is Ronan Shaw. And whenever they enter, if you cast them, there are 3 more dragons or lesson cards in your graveyard. You can create a token that's a copy of them, except it's not legendary. So you can technically get the card again. Yeah, it's really dope. Jet sucks, so you probably blocked him out of your mind. Jet does suck. He got a little better before he died. Or didn't die because they couldn't show it. And then this is just a full art of everyone being destroyed by Aang when he took the body of like the water demon, the water spirit. I don't remember what it was called. There is a card of him actually doing that. I just don't have it. So I don't remember the name of it. Go that way. Perfecto. What else we got in here? Lightning Strike. Yeah, not the best card, but not bad. Turtle Duck. It's so cute. It's so cute. And it's honestly, it's objectively really strong. For a green, you can pay 3, and then it becomes a 4/4 with Trample. It's a really good early starting card. Add start in 2 minutes. If you get them, it's your fault. Water Tribe Captain. For 5. I already read that one, actually. Not a good card. Octopus Form. Good card. Already read it. Beetle-Headed Merchants. Okay, this is new. Whenever this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, draw a card and put a +1/+1 counter on. That's actually really cool. I could see that. It's really expensive, which is why it's not the best card. But I could see that being useful minus the cost. Yep. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If that creature is an ally, it also gains flying. That's really cute. You better throw in an extra yip. We gotta move. Judy. One of many. That looks creepy as hell, actually. Surveil 1, create a token that's a copy of this creature, then sacrifice an artifact or creature. Activate only as a sorcery. Hello, my name is Judy. You're in Bossing Say now. Everyone is safe here. Fancy Footwork. Love that. Love that episode. Untap 1 or 2 target creatures. They each get +2/+2 until end of turn. Yeah, like all this is throwbacks for me, and they did such a good job with it. Benevolent. I'll show this because it's super pretty, but we already saw this one. The River Spirit. Beautiful card. Okay, I need to rewatch this series for the 100th time. It's great. Have you seen Korra? Have you seen all of Korra? Are you excited for, one, either the movie that they're making of them as adults, or are you excited for the new series that they're making that comes after Korra with the Earthbending Avatar? Because I'm excited for both of those. Long Fang, he sucks butt. I saw all of Korra, but I didn't love it as much. Yeah, it was in my opinion, it was nowhere near as good. We got a better version of Iroh, the Grand Lotus card. This is the same card I showed you before of Iroh, but prettier. So. Compassionate Healer. We already showed that card. And then, yeah, it normally always ends with a land. So, cool land. You are going in there, buddy boy, because you are beautiful. Nothing else in this really called out to me. Yip Yip's cool and all. White Lotus for the win. Quite literally, they would not have won the war without the White Lotus. They would not have won the war without Suki either. There we go. We're making a dent. We're almost done. We're about a little over halfway done with it now. I don't know what I'm going to be doing after. Might be playing some games. Maybe Marvel Rivals. Maybe... Honestly, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to play. Might work on music stuff. I might make some decks for Magic. I think some people might still be playing Repo. We might join. We'll figure it out. We got a lot of decks to go. We got a lot of packs to go. We'll figure it out. Deserter's Discipline. Pillar Launch. Kyoshi Battle Fan. Azula Always Lies. Airbending Lesson. Iguana Parrot. I haven't read it yet, but I have seen it already. Rivals. Depends what time. It shouldn't be too late, but you do work tomorrow, Star. We can play some games, though. Flying, Vigilance, Prowess. Okay. Nothing super crazy. Foggy Swamp Hunters. We already said that one. Uncle Iroh. As we see more of the cards, it will just go through faster and faster. Hey, we got our third shrine! Northern Air Temple. We have 3 out of the 5 shrines, and all of the shrines we've found so far have been different. When Northern Air Temple shrine enters, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of shrines you control. Whenever another shrine you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. If your PC would let you, tell your PC to let you. Oh, that's a lit card that we haven't seen yet. Serpent's Pass. Or Serpent of the Pass. Look how cool that looks. I love that art. That's so cool. If there are 3 or more lesson cards in your graveyard, you may cast the spell as though it had flash. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each non-creature, non-land card in your graveyard. Okay, so this could become pretty cheap. It could cost as much as a blue. I love this card. That's a really cool card. The Sun Warriors. Okay, speaking of the Dancing Dragons. It gave you a swirly. Damn, bro. You need to call the principal. Firebending X, where X is... Stop! Because no one wants to listen to your songs anymore. This one's a little too depressing. I don't know the song, so it should be fine. Firebending X, where X is the number of creatures you control, which is really nice. And for 5, I can create a 1/1 white allied creature token. Have a great race of themes. These are great cards. I hope you have a great night as well, Mango. Thank you so much for hopping in. Please drink food, eat water, and rest well when you do. It's always a pleasure having you here. Yes, work is important. Same thing with Stars. I do want to play games. Oh, wait, before you leave. It's calling to you. Did you leave already? It came out just for you as soon as you were leaving. Oh, no. She's not going to see it. Oh. He was like, I can't go yet. Yeah, this is actually one of the really good Zuko cards. That timing is hilarious, actually. But yeah, new Zuko card, Zuko Conflicted. At the beginning of your first main phase, choose one that hasn't been chosen and you lose 2 life. Draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on Zuko, add a red mana, or exile Zuko and then return him to the battlefield under an opponent's control. This is such a cool card. Like, the idea behind it of, like, he's constantly changing sides because he doesn't know what to choose. And that's like, they worked so well with the story of the show. And they did such I love this card. This card really shows that they actually gave a shit about this set. Now you go to bed. Yes, please. If I have any other cool cards, if I find another Zuko, I'll send it to you. But please have a good night. Rest well when you do. Gran Gran. I love Gran Gran. She helped me out a lot when I played. So whenever Gran Gran becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. Non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, as long as there's 3 or more lessons in your graveyard. Gran Gran really helps early on in the game. Fantastic. Meditation Pools. Just another really cool art. Not a full art, so I'm not as excited about it. But we did get a dope Zuko, so that's definitely going over there. And I don't think we need any of the other ones right now. That one's cool. I'll put that one over there because Firebending X can definitely become something pretty useful. Especially with allies from white, that firebending can get pretty big. I put a clue. I think I put a token in here. Yep, bear. Get over there. Why'd they give me the bear when I didn't get the Earth King? There we go. Who next? IGGY, Cycle of Renewal. Sacrifice the land, search your library for 2 lands, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Not a bad exchange. Rumble Arena. Vigilance, and when this land enters Scry. Okay, nothing fantastic. Mongoose Lizard. Okay, Menace. When this creature enters, it deals 1 damage to any target, and it has mountain cycling, which we talked about before. I can pay the price, discard that card, look for a mountain. Pillar Launch, we already saw that. Cat Owl, we already saw that. Sold Out, we already saw that. Glider Kids, this is new. Flying, and when this creature enters, you can scry 1. Sad Appa, Heartless Act. Meteor Sword, oh, it's 7? Oh my god, that's a lot. When this equipment enters, I can destroy target permanent, though. So it's like a better version of Isha, but it doesn't return. And then equipped creature gets +3/+3. It's a lot, though. 7? I guess you destroy target permanent, which is why that's useful. So I guess it's like an Isha, but it doesn't come back. Isha is a different card for people who don't know it. Ooh, the Spirit Oasis. Hey, we're at 4. We're at 4 out of 5 shrines. Right? I think we're at 4 out of 5 shrines. We didn't get this one yet, right? Draw a card for each shrine you control. And then whenever another shrine enters, draw another card. Yeah, we're at 4 out of 5. I don't think we got that one yet. Guru Pathik. Really cool card. I saw it before, but you guys haven't, so I'll show it to you. When Guru Pathik enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a lesson, saga, or shrine card from among them, put it into your hand, and then put the rest on the bottom of your library in any random order. Whenever you cast one of those cards, you can put a 1/1 counter on another creature you control. Avatar's Wrath. Great card. Choose up to 1 target creature, then airbend all other creatures. Until your next turn, your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. Exile Avatar's Wrath. It's a really good card. So it's like a temporary board wipe. Makes everything off the board for your opponents, at least, until next turn. Everything you have, though, you can +2. Like, it's a good card. It's a really good card. Enter the Avatar State. Ha ha ha. This is one we already saw already, but also still a fantastic card. And then just a regular Plains. But if you want to see it, it's the temples that are upside down. I forget. Eastern air temples? Maybe? I always forget which one is which. I think it's the Eastern air temples. Cool card. Another shrine. I started an avalanche. I have so many cards. One day I'm just gonna like bring my cards in and just be like, hey, everyone. There we go. What do we got, boys? Firebending Lesson. Cycle of Renewal. Aang's Journey. We haven't talked about it, but it's Nature's Lore. All it is, well, it depends. It's Nature's Lore with a kick. So if you pay the kicker, it's 2, and then a kicker is 2, so you have to pay an additional 2. Excuse me. If you pay the kicker cost, it lets you look for a shrine card as well. So if you just pay the first 2, you can look for a land card and gain 2 life. But if you pay the kicker cost, you look for a land card, a shrine card, and then you gain 2 life. Mongoose Lizard, we already talked about that. Glider Kids, already talked about that. Guana Parrot. All Time Low. Corrupt Court Official. When this creature enters, target opponent discards a card. Nothing too crazy. We know that guy. Cat Gator, lifelink, and when this creature enters, it deals damage equal to the number of swamps you control to any target. It's a really cool card. Another Grand. Earth Kingdom Jailer. We haven't seen this yet. When this creature enters, exile up to one target artifact, creature, or enchantment an opponent controls with mana value 3 or greater until this creature leaves the battlefield. Dragonfly Swarm. Look how cool that looks. Flying Ward 1. This creature's power is equal to the number of non-creature, non-land cards in your graveyard. When this creature dies, if there's a lesson card in your graveyard, you draw a card. United Front. This card is phenomenal. Create X 1/1 white allied creature tokens, then put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Great card. Great card. Zhao Ruthless Admiral. Firebending 2, and then whenever you sacrifice another permanent, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. And then North Pole Gates. Not a full art, so not like amazing, but don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm very grateful to get dual lands. They're not bad. Hate it. Bro, I swear this never ends. There's so many decks. There's so many cards. Hopefully everyone's having a good night, enjoying themselves, drinking food, eating water. You know, the usual. All of these have recently been starting with Firebending Lesson. Another turtle duck, super cute. Abandon your attachments. Daily Indoctrination. Glider Kids. Forecasting Fortune Teller. Sandbender Storm, this is new. Choose one, either destroy target creature with power 4 or greater, or Earthbend 3. Master Paku, AO. Prowess, and then whenever Master Paku becomes tapped, target player mills X cards, where X is the number of lesson cards in your graveyard. Okay. Another Zhao, same Zhao. Trusty Boomerang for 1. Equipped creature has 1 to tap. Pay 1 and tap. Tap target creature. Return Trusty Boomerang to its owner's hand. Equip 1. I see. So you pay 2 and then throw. Okay, I see. I understand. Glider Staff. Another artifact, actually. When this equipment enters, airbend up to 1 target creature. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has flying. Cool. I keep on running from something, I keep on running. Earthbender Ascension. When this enchantment enters, Earthbend 2, then search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. Whenever a land you control enters the battlefield, put a quest counter on this enchantment. When you do, if it has 4 or more quest counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains trample until end of turn. Why is it a gold? I mean, I guess it only costs 3 for everything it does. Because you get a land, on top of that you earthbend, on top of that. If you have 4 counters, you get the +1/+1s on target creature you control. But that's whenever a land enters, so it's consistent. Okay, I see why that's worth so much. A giant koi. Oh my god, look how pretty that is. That's really pretty. Waterbend 3, this creature can't be blocked this turn. It also has island cycling. Really beautiful plains. And then useless. Do that. Put that over there.
I think we've already seen Badger Mole. Aang's Journey, we've already seen it. Uh, Yuyan Archers, we haven't seen them yet. Reach, when this creature enters, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. Okay. Iguana Parrot. Hog Monkey. Earth Kingdom Soldier. Yip. We got an Appa card. We got an actual, like, Appa card. Let's go. Flying. Whenever Appa enters or attacks, choose one. You can either airbend another target non-land permanent you control, or target creature you control gains flying until end of turn. Hey, sexy lady. I don't know if this was in the deck or not. I think I might have dropped that earlier. That's a really cute Appa card, though. We got Toph the Blind Bandit. When Toph enters Earthbend 2, Toph's power is equal to the number of 1/1 counters on lands you control. Really cool card. Combustion Man. Look at how lit that dude looks. Whenever Combustion Man attacks, destroy target permanent unless its controller has Combustion Man deal damage to them equal to its power. That's a really good card. That's a really good card. We got a Sokka. Sokka, Lateral Strategist. Whenever Sokka and at least one other creature attack, you draw a card. We got this is the Tylee I wanted. Tylee Chi Blocker. Flash, Prowess, and then when Tylee enters, tap up to one target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller untap step for as long as you control Tylee. So it's pretty great. It's like Watery Grasp, but more consistent and with like it's on the that's your Tylee now. Interesting. Fire Sages, we already saw that. Meditation Pools. I do want this Tylee. That's a really good one. I do like Combustion Man. I want all of these. It's just because I love them. They're not even that good of cards. I just really like the characters, so I want to hold them over there. What are you up to, Star? What are you doing right now? Thank you so much for the follow, the MTG Medic. I hope you're doing great, having a great day. Appreciate you hopping in. Everyone on TikTok, I hope you are doing fantastic. I do suck at checking TikTok. I will just let you know. So feel free to come over, check out Twitch. Same name, Night Slasher. You get more of a screen. It's a little bit easier to see, a little bit better resolution. And it's where more of the fun stuff happens, you know? So consider checking it out. Either way, I really appreciate you hanging around. I hope you're having an amazing night. I can open this. I'm a man. I can... Let's go. Yeah. Is opening packs attractive? Does that make me... Earth Village Ruffians. Ooh, I love this episode. When this creature dies, Earthbend 2. We'll show the card since no one's seen it yet. Yuyan Archers. Okay. Foggy Swamp. We've already seen all these. We're getting in there. Sold Out. We've already seen that one. Pretending Poxbearers. I've seen it. You haven't. So I'll read this one. When this creature dies, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. It says when they all pretend to have it was Pox something. I don't remember what it was called. Squid Pox or something. I think I've heard of that. Pentapox. That's what it was. A deadly skin affliction bearing similarity to the Pentapus markings was entirely fabricated, but the Fire Nation didn't know that. Rowdy Snowballers. Otter Penguins. Again, adorable, so I'll show them to you. Rhythm of... Jet's Brainwashing. Okay, for a red. It's only one red. Interesting. I can kick it for 3. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. If the spell was kicked, gain control of that creature until end of turn. Untap it, and it gains haste. And then also get a clue token. That's a really good card. Zuko's Conviction. With a kicker 4, return target creature card from the graveyard to your hand. If the spell was kicked, instead put that card onto the battlefield tapped. Ooh, this is pretty, and it's an extended art. Oh my god, look how pretty that is. Look at how pretty the Dily agents are. When this creature enters Earthbend 1 and then Earthbend 1. Whenever this creature attacks, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them. That could be egregious. Like, that could be really painful, depending on how you get that in there. Because other creatures can have +1/+1 counters. Jasmine Dragon Teashop, nice land. Add 1 mana of any color, spend it only to cast an ally spell or activate an ability of an ally source. Or for 5, I can tap it and create an ally creature token. That's a little steep for that one, but the other two are pretty good. Firebend. Oh my god, look at how good that Firebending student looks. That is so pretty. Another Foggy Swamp Hunters. And then regular island. Nothing too crazy. These are pretty cards, so they're definitely going over there. That's a nice land. And then that's also going over there. We have a separate side of cards for like the cool ones, which isn't nearly as big as the not cool ones, but it's still getting pretty big. Of my soul. I wonder if TikTok can hear the music. I don't know if they can. So I might just be singing to myself for them. There we go. I thought I answered, I'm still in Minecraft getting materials, but one of them is helping me. They're very nice. Awesome. I'm glad they're helping you out. I am happy you're having fun, baby. Badgermole. Earth Ruffians. Kyoshi Warriors. We already saw that, but always good art. So, Giant Koi. We just saw that. Good art. Swamp Snare Trap. Horappa. Geyser Leaper. I've seen this. You guys haven't. Geyser Leaper. Waterbend 4. Draw a card, then discard a card. It's flying. It's not the best. Hey, bye. We got Hey Bye. I've been told Hey Bye is actually a pretty decent card. I haven't read it yet. When Hey Bye enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Hey Bye. When Hey Bye leaves the battlefield, put its counters on target creature you control. Not bad. Honestly, that's not bad. That's pretty lit. Might want to do something with that. Kyoshi Island Plaza. Legendary enchantment shrine. Is that... Did we get all the shrines? Did we get all the shrines? Are there more than 5 shrines? I think there's only 5 shrines. So I think we got all the shrines. When Kyoshi Island enters, search for X basic land cards, where X is the number of shrines you control. Put those cards on the battlefield tapped. That is great. Yeah, that's a lot of land. Whenever another shrine you control enters, search your library for a basic land, put on the battlefield capped. I'm cool with that. Hey, we got Aang. We got the original Aang, the book 1 Aang. I'll let you guys see that. Flying, when he enters, airbend up to 1 other target non-land permanent. Whenever you cast a lesson spell, Aang gains lifelink until end of turn. Combustion Technique. Combustion Technique deals equal to 2 plus the number of lesson cards in your graveyard to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Cool. Momo! That makes sense that they're in the same deck. It's very cute. Flying. The first non-lemur card, the first non-linear creature spell with flying you cast during each of your turns costs 1 less to cast. Whenever another creature you control with flying enters, Momo gets a +1/+1 until end of turn. Ba Sing Se. Cool. And then regular mountain. Cool, cool, cool. We're gonna put Aang in there. We're gonna put that over there. That's another shrine. We're definitely putting Heibai over there too. Cause Heibai crazy time. Here we go. Put those over there. Put that over there. We're going back to 2004. In 2004, I was watching this show, actually. Rocky Rebuke. Barrels of Blasting Jelly is a fantastic card. So for 1, it's a mana fixer. So you can pay 1 to add 1 mana of any color. Only once each turn. So it's pretty great. Because it's just a mana fixer. And then sacrifice this artifact. It deals 5 damage to target creature. Which costs 5, but 5 damage directly at anything is not a bad card. Firebending Lesson. There are better ways to do 5 damage to something, but like on top of it being a mana fixer, it'll quench ya. Pox. I stopped saying the names, man. Honestly, Water Skin. Amazing card. Love it. We got Flopsy, Boomy's buddy. When Flopsy enters, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Each creature you control with power 4 or greater can't be blocked by more than 1 creature, which is awesome. Especially if you can give those things menace. Sako's Haiku. Best part about this card, first of all. Counter target spell. Draw a card, then mill 3 cards. Untap target land. I said that right. It's a haiku. Earth Kingdom Protectors, Vigilance, sacrifice this creature. Another target ally you control gains indestructible until end of turn. We got another Mai, Jaded Edge. For 3, you can put a double strike counter on Mai. And then it has prowess as well. Badgermole Cub, good card. When this creature enters Earthbend 1, and whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional mana. Which is great when you're Earthbending 1, they're becoming creatures. It's a really good card. Otter Penguin, cute. And then a beautiful land. We're definitely putting these 2 in there. We'll do Flopsy too. Wash our memories. I dropped a card. I will find a better way to show off the cards. I don't know. After seeing it, Star, Luno, what are your opinions of this? How bad is this? Like, is it okay? I want to find a way to make it better, you know? Like, I don't like that there's the black bar right there. I wish I could do something to help it. I just don't know how to make the camera hang. Honestly, I'm just happy that I made both cameras work at the same time, if I'm being honest. But what are your opinions on... It works? Okay, it works doesn't mean you like it, though. So... I need to find a way to make it work better. Because it does feel a little too far. I will say that. Which I guess is kind of good for TikTok, because they can see more of the cards. Didn't even notice the black bar until you said something. Okay, I mean, but, like, does it look okay? Is it too big? Like, I don't know. I'm self-conscious, I guess. I want it to, like... I always want to try to improve it somehow. Badgermole. Earth Rumble Wrestlers. Lightning Strike. Cycle of Renewal. Yeah. Pirate Peddlers. Rabaru Troop. Lost Days. Buzzard Wasp Colony, that's new. Flying. When this creature enters, you may sacrifice an artifact or creature. If you do, draw a card. Whenever another creature you control dies, if it had counters on it, put its counters on this creature. Oh. I mean, That could be pretty good. It looks fine to me. I mean, always room for improvement, but it's good as is. Cool, 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 cool. Gran Gran. Love me some Gran Gran. Another Flopsy. Let's go. I'm excited to see that card. You guys didn't. You guys kind of saw it, but didn't see it as well. Earth Kingdom Protectors. Fire Lord Sozin. Let's just go to that side really quick. The Rise of Sozin. Destroy all creatures. Choose a card name. Search the target opponent graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that name, and exile them. Then that player shuffles. And then exile this saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. Firelord Sozin. Menace Firebending 3. Whenever Firelord Sozin deals combat damage to a player, you may pay X. When you do, put any number of target creature cards with total mana value X or less from the player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Another Yip Yip. And then another Airship Air Room. So, I mean, this one alone is, I think, the only one that's going to go. None of these ones were great, except for that Firelord Sozin, which was phenomenal. Very pretty. I love the extended art. You're gonna go far, kid. Would you believe that I still have 6 of these left to open? Freedom Fighters. How long has stream been going on? 2 hours already, wow. Rebellious Captives. Exhaust, and for 6, put 2+1/+1 counters on this creature, then Earthbend 2, so it becomes a 4/4. But, I mean, it's not the worst. Barrels of Blasting Jelly. A Compassionate Healer. First Time Flyer. Flying, and this creature gets +1/+1 as long as there's a lesson card in your graveyard. Canyon Crawler, we've been over that one. It has Death Touch, always good. Another Otter Penguin, so many Otter Penguins. Haru, Hidden Talent. Whenever another ally you control enters, Earthbend 1. That is not bad. That's not bad. Solstice Revelations. Exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that spell without paying its mana cost if the spell's mana value is less than the number of mountains you control. If you don't cast that card this way, put it in your hand. And I can pay flashback for 6 and a red for that. There's another card that's double-sided in this one. Oh my god. Boomerang Basics. For a blue, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you controlled that permanent, draw a card. Okay. I know what it is. I saw the first word. Okay, 1 second. Let me move these over. I know that you've been self-medicating. Destined Confrontation. Look at the beautiful art between Zuko and Azula. Each player chooses any number of creatures they control with total power 4 or less, then sacrifices all other creatures they control. That's cool. We got another Aang. And this is the Aang I think I wanted to make a deck for. Aang Swift Savior. Flash, flying, and when Aang enters, airbend up to 1 other target creature or spell. I can transform Aang for waterbending for 8. Aang and La Ocean's Fury. This thing? Where my finger is? Reach and Trample. Whenever Aang and La attack, put a 1/1 counter on each tapped creature you control. It's a great card. Not a mythic like Sothan, but Hog Monkey, shiny. And then we're gonna another beautiful, beautiful swamp. God, there's so many good lands. We're definitely putting Aang in there. Haru is also kind of a sleeper. We're gonna put him over there. You zone that out for sure? Okay, I mean, I guess that's a plus. But if you need a friend... Rebellious Captives, Earth Village Ruffians, Treetop Freedom Fighters. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. I don't know if we said that one yet or not. First time flyer, Deadly Precision. As an additional cost is pay 4 or sacrifice an artifact or creature, and then you destroy target creature. Water Tribe Captain, Geyser Leaper, Crashing Wave. This is new. As an additional cost, Waterbend X. Tap up to X target creatures, then distribute 3 stun counters among tapped creatures your opponents control. Okay. The Boulder. When the Boulder attacks, Earthbend X, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 4 or greater. Not bad. Fatal Fissure. Choose target creature. When that creature dies this turn, you Earthbend 4. Okay. Another jet. Don't care about that. Hey, Toph the First Metal Bender. Let's go. Non-token artifacts you control are lands in addition to their other types. At the beginning of your end step, Earthbend 2. So that's pretty great. Earth Kingdom Jailer, and Kyoshi Village, which is not an amazing land, but the Boulder is also a good card. I'll put that over there. Paint the walls black and scream. Stay. We only have three more guys. 3 more. How to Start a Riot. Rocky Rebuke. After I open all these, I am going to go to the bathroom, and then we'll figure out what we're doing after that. Rumble Arena again. Path to Redemption. Lost Days. Callous Inspector, which I believe we already saw. Yip. Professor Zay. Vengeful Villagers. Whenever this creature attacks, choose target creature an opponent controls. Tap it, then you may sacrifice an artifact or creature. If you do, put a stun counter on chosen creature. Okay. Leaves from the Vine. Fire Nation Attacks, which I showed y'all already. But a better art. Diligent Zookeeper. Each non-human creature you control gets +1/+1 for each of its creature types to a maximum of 10. That's cool. Messenger Hawk. Serpent's Pass, and then a clue token. Nothing too great in this one. So we'll just move past this one. Is to learn one way. It's all gonna turn out great. You're a good kid. Ostrich Horse, Platypus Bear, Cunning Maneuver, Waterbending Lesson, Pirate Peddlers, Airbending Lesson, Sandbender Storm, Airbender Reversal we haven't seen yet, but I do know what it does. Choose one, either destroy target attacking creature or airbend target creature you control. Iroh's Demonstration. Choose one. Iroh Demonstration deals 1 damage to each creature your opponents control, or deals 4 damage to target creature. Uh, Hermetic Herbalist. Add 1 mana of any color, or add 2 mana of any color. 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast lesson spells. It's not a bad card. Fire Nation Trebuchet. Artifact creature wall. Defender and Reach. Whenever you attack, create a 2/1 colorless construct artifact creature token with flying named Ballistic Boulder that's tapped and attacking. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step. Really pretty schematic of the Fire Nation drill. Something tells me Toby will probably want it because he likes the schematic cards. We'll put that off to the side. Boomy Unleashed. Yeah, are there a lot of tridents near us? Trample. When Boomy enters Earthbend 4, whenever Boomy deals combat damage to a player, untap all lands you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Only land creatures can attack during that combat phase. That's crazy. That's really cool. Okay, Boomy crazy, Fire Nation drill crazy. If you want me to be yours, if you want me. Girl, time out. I know that you're only with me for the clouds. Sit down, you had too much to drink. Maybe it's my fault. Really? Oh, right, yeah, there was nothing in that other one. Okay, this is the final pack, y'all. Oh. Yeah? Final pack, y'all. Give me the luck. Give me the magic. I need it. Let Bossing Say Walls be in here. Let something great be in here. Whew. Fighters. We'll get the clue out of the way already. Ostrich Horse. Barrels of Blasting Jelly. Mongoose Lizard. Beetle-Headed Merchants. There's a lot of animals. Path to Redemption. First Time Flyer. Boomerang. Basics. Tolls of War. Tigerdillo. We haven't seen this one yet. This creature can't attack or be blocked unless you control another creature with power 4 or greater. So if it's the only one, it can't. Okay, you know, that's smart for like an earlier game then. Invasion Tactics. When this enchantment enters, creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. And whenever one or more allies you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Not a bad card. Costs a lot though. Faded Firepower. Enchantment. Flash. This enchantment enters with X fire counters on it. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus an amount of damage equal to the number of fire counters on this enchantment instead. That's a pretty good card. That's really cool. Shiny Kyoshi Battle Fan. And then Forest. Okay. We're gonna put that over there for sure. That was a good final pull. But yeah, that's all of the decks. I'll put these off to the side. I'm gonna need to we're gonna use this box. And of course, like normal, I'm gonna have to go through everything that well, not like normal because I haven't done it a lot. I do need to take the time and just go through all of the cards I have to see if there's anything worth holding on to, and then trying to just like get rid of the other cards. Not like to get rid of, but I have to consolidate. Because I have a drawer under my bed just full of cards, and I have no idea what's under there, just because I like opening the cards more than I like actually caring about what I get. It's a problem. But we're going to put these in there. I'm going to show off the good cards, or the cards that I thought were cool, and then we're going to put them away in here. I'm going to do a quick bathroom break after that, and then we'll figure out next steps. We're going to minus out all of that. We're going to Open that up there. I could die happy for a moment, 'cause you stole my spare time. Okay, cool. Ooh. Ooh, my body. These are all tokens, so honestly, these don't matter too much. I don't know where to put these tokens. I'll just leave them over there for now, I guess. It's fine. Okay, let's look at what we have that's cool. Okay, so we're gonna start. Actually, let's flip it. Let's flip it a little bit, just so we can see some more of these. So we got Sokka, lateral strategist. Looks super cool. Whenever Sokka and at least one of their creature attacks, you draw a card. Got cool Appa, loyal Sky Bison. When he enters, I can either enters or attacks. I can airbend a non-land permanent I control, or a target creature I control gains flying until end of turn. Probably do the airbending just because a lot of I want to focus on ETB effects with that. Combustion Man, which is a really good card, especially for silver. When Combustion Man attacks, I can destroy target permanent unless its controller has Combustion Man deal damage to them equal to its power, which crazy. The really good Tylee. There's another Tylee, I think. But this one, it enters with Flash and it has prowess, and you tap up to one target creature and it doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for as long as Tylee is on the battlefield. Really good. Earthbending Ascension. When this enchantment enters, I can Earthbend 2 and then search my library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. And then whenever a land I control enters, I can put a quest counter on this enchantment. If this has 4 or more counters on it, if this has 4 or more quest counters on it, I can put a +1/+1 counter on the target creature I control, and it gains trample until end of turn. So that's pretty cool. Really pretty plans. There's a lot of really pretty lands. I'm just going to put them off to the side as I find them. United Front. Pay X +2 white. I get that many 1/1 ally creatures, and then all of my creatures get a +1/+1 counter on them. Spirit Oasis. This is one of the shrines. This says I can draw a card for each shrine I control. Meteor Sword. It's like Spine of Isha, but also gets +3/+3. Yeah, it doesn't come back though, unlike Spine of Isha. Avatar's Wrath, I airbend everything except for one target creature. And then until next turn, my opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. Sun Warriors, I firebend X, where X is the number of creatures I control, which is really good. And then for 5, you can get the 1/1 white ally creature token, which isn't that good, but the first ability is by far amazing. Zuko Conflicted. At the beginning of your first main phase, I can choose one that hasn't been chosen, and I lose 2 life. So that's really cool. Really cool Iroh Grand Lotus. Firebending 2, and then during each of my turns, each non-lesson instant or sorcery card has flashback. And then during my turn, each lesson card in my graveyard has flashback 1. So every flashback 1. That's not bad. Hakoda. I can sacrifice him to give my people indestructible and +5 toughness, which if you get indestructible doesn't really matter. You may cast ally spells from the top of your library, and you may look at the top of your library at any time. Just another land. It's really cool. Draw a card, discard a card for a pretty decent price. So, not upset at that. Boomy, King of 3 Trials. Choose up to X, where X is the number of lesson cards in your graveyard. You can stack these to do a bunch at a time. Really cool. Full Border Swamp. Momo hiding right there. Pretty cool. Unlucky Cabbage Merchant. When creature enters, create a food token, and then whenever you sacrifice a food, you may search your library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped. If you search your library this way, put this creature on the bottom of your owner's library, then shuffle. That's just cool. I think it's really cool. Tiger Seal, at the beginning of your upkeep, tap this creature. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, untap this creature. It does have vigilance, but that tapping at your upkeep kind of hurts that a little bit. It's just more for like the attack, and then you can still defend with it. Ember Island Production, really cool card. Makes something a +4/+4, except it's non-legendary and is a hero, or a 4/4, or make something a 2/2 and it's non-legendary except it's a coward. The top one is for creatures I control. The bottom one's for creatures opponents control. Hermetic Herbalist, really good mana source for lessons or spells, to cast lesson spells. I can pay 2 of any color, which not bad. Schematic Fire Nation Drill, really cool. I might give that to Toby just because he loves schematics. Toph, the first Metal Bender. So on my end step, Earthbend 2. And non-token artifacts I control are lands in addition to their other types. Haru Hidden Talent. Whenever another ally enters, I Earthbend 1, which is just a good. It's just a good card because I can make things enter a lot. You know, it works out well. Dope looking Firelord Sothan. Let me go to this. The Rise of Sozin. It's a mythic. Destroy all creatures. So just off the bat, destroy all creatures. Choose a card name, search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that name, and then exile them. Then that player shuffles. Exile this saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. 2, Firelord Sozin, which Menace Firebending 3. Whenever Firelord Sozin deals combat damage to a player, you may pay X. When you do, you put any number of target creature cards with total mana value X or less from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Which, pretty strong. Very excited with that hit. Flopsy, put 1/1 counters on each creature you control, and each creature with power 4 or greater can't be blocked by more than one creature. So it is, gives, it's like the opposite of Menace, but if something has Menace, they just can't be blocked if they're over 4 power from that now. So if I had that with Firelord Sozin somehow, Firelord Sozin couldn't be blocked because he has Menace, and they can only block with 1 creature. Badger Cub, fantastic card. Anytime a creature taps for mana, add an additional green. And when it enters Earthbend 1. Really beautiful island. Firebending Student. I have a few of these, but this isn't the Firebending Student that I like the most, so we're going to leave that there. A really beautiful mountain. Earth King Lieutenant. Trample, when this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each ally creature you control, or whenever another ally creature... So it just gives +1/+1 to everyone. I don't know why I held on to this one. I mean, it's not bad. It's a gold, which is probably what I did. Here's also a Fire Nation Drill, but it's not the good one. It's not as pretty as that one. Lion Turtle is beautiful. I need 3 more lessons in my graveyard before he can attack or block, but he does give mana until then. Really pretty forest. Really pretty forest. Oh! No! Ow. My head. There we go. Enter the Avatar state. It's only a silver, but it's pretty great. Character becomes an avatar. In addition, it only costs 1, but they gain flying, first strike, lifelink, and hexproof. So, pretty great. Obsessive Pursuit. Once an enchantment enters, and at the beginning of combat, you lose 1 life and create a clue token. Whenever you attack, I can put X +1/+1 counters, where X is the number of permanents I have sacrificed this turn. If it's 3 or greater, that creature also gains lifelink until end of the turn, which ain't bad. Toph, Hard-Headed Teacher. Not as good as the Metal Bending Toph, but still fantastic. When it enters, I can discard a card. If I do, return target instant or sorcery from my graveyard to my hand. And whenever I cast a spell, I Earthbend 1. If the spell is a lesson, put an additional 1/1 counter on that land. Yo, have we gotten any good pulls? I'm actually going over the good pulls that we have right now. The best ones so far, at least how cool they look. Firelord Sozin looks amazing. It's a mythic, and we got a extended art. Pretty fantastic. I am enjoying that so far. Um, Besides that one, I mean, everything here is honestly fantastic. Uh, do you like Avatar? I assume everyone likes the Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? Who's your favorite character? I might have a cool version of their card. But yeah, we just went over. I have two different versions of Toph. We have Flopsy, a Badger Cub, which is really good. Iroh Grand Lotus is right under or right next to Firelord Sozin, actually. He looks fantastic. This card looks amazing. We got a United Front, which is really good. That lets give me a bunch of allies. We got two really good, two decent boomies. We got two Zuko cards. Zuko Conflicted, definitely a good card. It's such a pretty Iroh card. God, I love a lot of the characters, but I think Iroh and Zuko are your faves. Okay, I'll show you Zuko also. We got Zuko Conflicted, which is by far one of the best card art, like the best card mechanics I've ever seen. Because it really shows the story of Zuko, like not knowing what side to fight for. Like the internal struggle in him is really shown, and it's fantastic. They did a great job with that card. That Iroh card is by far definitely looks cooler though. I really like that Iroh card. Here's the other Toph I was just talking about. Hard-headed teacher, as opposed to Toph the first metal bender. I think Toph the first metal bender looks amazing. They're both really cool cards, but Toph metal bender is by far a stronger card. Azula, Cunning Usurper. This is when she took over Ba Sing Se. She can use mana of any color to cast spells that she exiles, which is really nice. Here's another Iroh Tea Master. You can give people tokens, and you put +1/+1 counter on that token for each permanent you own. You own that your opponents control. Ads start in 2 minutes. If you get them, it's your fault. Really pretty mountain. We don't talk about Bruno, but it was our wedding day. No clouds allowed in the sky. Thunder. I'm sorry, mi vida go on. Why did he tell us? I wanna get the umbrella. What a gorgeous day, but anyway. We have Mai. A really good Mai art, I think. Scornful Striker. First strike whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, they lose life. Something sort of muttering and mumbling. A really good island, a really pretty island. Oh yeah, I should show you it's a really pretty Mai art. This set is so pretty. They put so much effort into this set, which upsets me because they put so little effort into the Spider-Man set. Like, seeing how well they did with this shows that they just didn't care about the Spider-Man. They were just like, we can make money from this. Really pretty island. Pretty Suki. Suki, Courageous Rescuer. Other creatures you control get +1/+0, and then whenever a permanent you control leaves the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. This ability only triggers once each turn. The next day, dead. He told me to grow a gut, and just like he said. Another Ty Lee. Disappear. No, this is also a beautiful art. I love how the sun like reflects out of it. Prowess. Whenever Ty Lee attacks, you may pay 1. When you do, target creature can't block this turn. Another Suki. Kyoshi Warrior. Suki's power is equal to the number of creatures you control. Whenever Suki attacks, create a 1/1 white allied creature token that's tapped and attacking. I hate that this card is bent. Like, that pack was just bent, and it made me sad. Firelord Azula. Beautiful art. Beautiful art. Out of you. Faded Firepower, crazy card. Flash, and this enchantment enters with X fire counters, which is X is how much you pay. Which, especially with having like fire bending, and if you have enough of it, that could be really well. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus an amount of damage equal to the number of fire counters on this enchantment instead. So, like, that is for any card. Any card that you have, it just adds those fire counters, which is insane. This is a really good card. I'm kind of happy I pulled that. Fire Navy Trebuchet. This one's kind of whatever. I don't know why I saved this one, but it's cool. It's an artifact, and I really like artifacts. My hair is being mean. But anyway, whenever you attack, create a 2/1 colorless construct artifact creature token with flying named Ballistic Boulder that's tapped and attacking. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step. So it's like a good way to. It's just a good way to like add a little bit of extra oomph to your damage. Boomy Unleashed. This is the good Boomy. Trample. When Boomy enters Earthbend 4. Whenever Boomy deals combat damage to a player, untap all lands you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase, and only land creatures can attack during that combat phase. The Boulder. He's not that good, but he's the Boulder. I can Earthbend X, where X is the number of creatures I have with power over 4, which, you know, if you get those up there, that could be really effective. Aang, Swift Saber. We did get 2 Aang cards. When Aang enters, airbend up to 1 other target creature or spell, and then I can waterbend 8 to transform him into Aang and La, Ocean's Fury. As the Boulder, yeah. The Boulder is conflicted. Reach, Trample. Whenever Aang and La attack, put a 1/1 counter on each tapped creature you control. Really, really good card. Really beautiful art. Fantastic. I'm happy with the amount of cool cards we got, especially because I just loved it. Like, this just gives memories, honestly. Seeing all these cards just gives memories. Really pretty forest, or swamp. Really pretty swamp. Heibai! Spirit of Balance. Whenever Heibai enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Heibai, and when Heibai leaves the battlefield, put those counters on a target creature you control. Heibai, crazy. That's a pretty good, because you can just choose to sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you have clue tokens, you can just sack a clue, get 2 +1/+1. Heibai mention. Heibai's fantastic. Kyoshi Island Plaza. Here's another shrine. I was gonna say I definitely had more shrines than this. I might not have put them in here. We got Momo. So the first non-lemur creature spell that I cast with flying during each of my turns costs 1 less, and then when another creature you control with flying enters, Momo gets a +1/+1 until end of turn. So not amazing, but not bad by any means. We'll put Momo next to Aang. I'm sure he wants to be there. Speaking of Aang, here's another Aang. When he enters, airbend up to 1 other target non-land permanent. Whenever you cast a lesson or spell, Aang gains lifelink until end of turn. Jet's Brainwashing. I can actively pay, and if I pay the kicker, I will take control of a target creature, untap it, give it haste until end of turn. Jasmine Dragon Tea Shop. It's just a cool tea shop. And you can tap it to pay for ally spells, which are very useful in this set. So I could see how that could be a very good land. Firebending Student. Okay, we got all 3 Tophs. Here is Toph Blind Bandit. So when she enters Earthbend 2, and her power is equal to the number of 1/1 counters on lands you control. Tie-dye shirts. And these are just really pretty cards. Firebending Student, Prowess and Firebending X, where X is the creature's power. So if I can gain this, get this thing to gain power, it's pretty effective. And then Dialy Agents. When this creature enters Earthbend 1 and then Earthbend 1, whenever this creature attacks, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them. So that can be very effective if you can get a lot of creatures with +1/+1 counters. As long as, like, if I play that with something, I would have to put it in a deck with United Front. But if I was able to play United Front, get that out, it gives all of my creatures +1/+1 counters. Let's say I have 12 creatures. Every time this attacks, people would take 12 life and I would gain 12 life, which is pretty nice. But that's all of the cool cards we had. I think we have more than just those 2 shrines. I put them in the other pack. So of course we have, because we opened the whole box. Of course we have all of these hiding in here. Oh my god! All of these hiding in here. That'll have to go through again at some point. But we're gonna start putting these away, make sure they're taken care of, and then after that, here I'll put these over here. I'm sure Toby wants this one, so I'll do this. And I will go through these more later. I am gonna put the Sozin. Where is the Iroh? There's the Iroh. The pretty cards I'm gonna put into penny sleeves, just to make sure they're taken care of. But everything else, I don't necessarily care if they're in penny sleeves just yet. Watch these be worth like millions of dollars, and then I somehow just like ruined them by doing that. All 3 of those I want in penny sleeves. I don't know if I care about Boomy enough to do that. These are pretty too. We'll put the pretty ones in sleeves. The lands though we won't, because no matter what, I'm probably gonna keep those lands. Put these over here, this over here. Put these over here. Cool. Where's Box? Box here. Yeah, I should be able to fit all of these. Firelord Sozin, Firebending Student, Avatar, or Aang Swift Savior. My bad. Daily Agents. I hate that opening. All this did was make me want to open more, and I hate it. It made me want to watch the show and open more. I get how people get addicted to this stuff. Really quick, I'm gonna get rid of some of these. Yeah, all those are tokens. That doesn't matter. Make space for the other cards. There we go. Boom, shaka pow. We'll put that over there for now. We'll put this over here for now. Put that right there. Put that right there. Really quick, I'm actually gonna fix this, because now we can go to music chatting, and I can not watching, camera, this one. What's up? We're gonna flip back, guys. Put that there, put that here. Just so I can move this over. Move this over here. Right here. There we go. We'll move this over here. There we go. Looking a little bit better. Okay, cool. I'm going to take a quick second. I need to go to the bathroom, because I've been pulling cards for almost 3 hours. We're going to do a BRB.
When?
And then
No.
when I get back, we will figure out what we're doing next.
No! No! No!
I'll see you out of it.
I almost threw you out of it.
He's addicted. He's addicted to balloons.
When you're done with them, you can suck the helium out after.
Mm-hmm.
Spectrum, I hate you.
You missed the jump, Joe. That was kind of embarrassing.
You don't
I'm
know
not
your-
gonna lie.
Nope, you didn't see it.
Clip it, chat. Clip it.
No proof. No, Barbados! No! Everything is going badly! No, don't look at him. No one needs to see him. No! Everyone's dying from sickness! Everyone's dying from... Stop being sick! Stop being sick! Everyone's dying from being sick! Ah! No! Everyone's dying! Everyone's dying! Everyone's dead! Everyone's dead! No! Yeah, I am truant. Oh shit. Oh,
Joe. Joe. So what were we saying earlier about me losing Mewtwo? I was just gonna throw?
I mean, you still have Articuno.
It's not like I spent money on those Mewtwo already or anything.
Last one alive's a rotten egg.
Oh, the blindness. I have 2 more extractions. Oh, shush.
Penis.
What did he say?
Penis. Wow. I'm kind of screwed. I got lucky. Going in. Oh, I got flashed by them. I missed the flash. I missed the flash. But I'm in. I killed someone!
Go, go, go.
Oh, they're up there. They're up there still.
Heaven 30. Yeah, bomb.
Yeah, but they're above me, aren't they? Above, on heaven, on heaven.
CC.
I shot him in the penis.
Spike
CC low.
down A.
I would say I'm definitely over halfway, probably, right? I don't know, man. I don't know how long this game is. But they already killed one of the main bad guys. What's wrong with me? What's... I didn't even think. No! Yeah, I deserve that. I deserve that. Can't see.
Look at you on stream.
his mods are driving him crazy. But it's our job.
Joe right now.
Let me die.
For wait, there's a toothpaste above it though. Grab the toothpaste first.
Ah, I hope it's Crest.
It's Colgate.
It is Colgate, yeah.
It actually is Colgate?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. I was just making a joke. Alright, let's go.
This
Alright,
stream,
I got a shovel.
this stream is not sponsored.
I don't know the way out.
You went in the trap!
Oh shit!
Good job, Joe.
No! All I heard, I was following Nom.
Wait, what happened to... What just happened to the coil head?
Nom! No! Are you stuck? I'm scared. Because if he's not stuck, I'm fucked. Ah. What's up? I'm back. How we doing, y'all? Uh-huh. What do we do now? It's late. What do we do now? Any ideas, anyone? I did say Rivals, but I know Star has to go to bed soon. I don't know if Star's gonna be still on for that. Is Star still playing Minecraft with people? What are people doing? Are people doing things? You're right. Ba-ba-ba-da. Ba-da. No, I do not see Star in there. I was thinking we could do that. Maybe some ARAMs, but it doesn't seem like anyone's really up doing anything. It is kind of late. We've been killing time on Minecraft. Yeah, you do have to go to bed soon. I've been streaming for 3 hours. I'm probably gonna be doing a longer stream tomorrow. Definitely earlier for sure. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow because it's possible I do Final Fantasy. I haven't played that game in a while. It'd be fun to get back into that. I do need to clean, do some chores, stuff like that. I mean, I'm not hungry today. Do I want to play something? Do games sound fun? Because I am also I'm not going to lie to you, my job has been kicking my butt the last week. So I've definitely been kind of riding it out at work. I think we're gonna raid out to someone who seems pretty cool. Give them some love. They're friends with one of our friends. His name's Optimus Prime. Our friend's name is Afer. If you haven't checked either of them out, you definitely should. I mean, you're gonna check Optimus Prime out in a second. Raid 1 if you are subscribed. Raid 2 if you're not. Please share some love. Stay till the end of the raid. Thank you so much for being here and spending time with me. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you are an amazing night. I hope you rest well when you do. But yeah, thank you guys so much for everything. We will talk to you soon. Tomorrow, I'm not entirely sure what we're doing, like I said, but we'll figure something out. We're going to have a great time. But yeah. Sleep well. I already said drink food, eat water. As you can see, the tired is getting to me a little bit. So we're probably gonna take a nap after we get a little bit of cleaning done. Okay. Babu.